What? This is confidential and you are breaching my privacy. Just kidding, guys. None of my work is confidential because to me, art is something which is to be shared so that it can inspire somebody. And today we're gonna take this theme of privacy and turn this into an art. How? By taking up this image and transforming it into something like this. Hey there, welcome back to yet another design video from Dexplorian, and I'm your host Didi, and here on this channel you get to see my design process in Photoshop, and along the way we discuss various tools, techniques and tips and tricks which can be helpful in improving your workflow and leveling up your graphic design game. The technique you are going to see today is called the mosaic effect, and I'm sure most of you have seen that in action. The most common use of this effect can be seen on news channels while showing some visuals of accidents or some crime footages which can be visually disturbing to the audience, and we can also see them on various classified materials. But what if I tell you we can use this artistically, and this is exactly what we are going to do today. What are you waiting for? Let's get started. We're gonna bring our image onto the canvas, and the first step will be to isolate our subject and remove the background, and to do that I'm going to use the quick selection tool and click on the select subject button here and wait for Photoshop to make the selection for us. And by that time I'm going to sip onto my lemon and honey flavored green tea. It's done, and now let us do a little inspection of what Photoshop has done, and it seems it has done a pretty good job. And now it's our turn to take it further, and we're gonna do that in Select and Mask workspace. I'm going to take the Refine Edge brush tool here and paint along the edges of the hair so that it can make a selection. In the output settings, we're gonna select the selection option and click OK. And now we will apply the layer mask and refine some of the edges right here. For that, we have to select the layer mask, take the brush tool, adjust the brush size by pressing the right or left square bracket keys, right click to open the brush settings and select the soft round brush, set the foreground color white by pressing the X key, and we're gonna paint over the areas we want to bring back. So this is it. This abrupt cut will look odd in our final composition. I'm going to make the edges softer, and we can do that by using the same soft round brush. We just have to change the foreground color to black and paint. That's all. And we are done. Before proceeding further, let's create a solid color adjustment layer, make it white and place it below our subject layer, and it will be our background. I'll refine the mask a little more. Now we're gonna make a duplicate of our subject layer by pressing Ctrl or Command J, rename it as mosaic, and move on to the next step to create the effect. Before starting out, make sure the layer is a smart object because we'll be applying some smart filters, and we wanna keep them fully editable at any point of time whenever we feel the need, and this is possible only when it's a smart object. Let's start applying the filters, and for that we go to filter menu here, go to pixelate and click on mosaic. Here we get to adjust the size of the squares by adjusting this slider. It depends on the look and feel you want. I'm going to keep it 50 and hit OK. And this is it. You got a mosaic effect. But this is very basic and you can't call it a work of an artist. And I consider myself and my audience as artists, and so we're gonna turn this into an art by enhancing it further. But before moving on, if you are finding this video helpful, then give it a like. It really means a lot and keeps me motivated and might even help the channel to grow. And if you are interested in similar videos, then subscribe the channel and do not forget to press that bell icon right next to the subscribe button to get notified of all my future videos whenever I post them. Now coming back, we will again go to filter menu and this time click on filter gallery. Let's zoom out a little. The filter we are going to use now is in the brush stroke folder, and it's the accented edges. Did you notice the difference? The edges of the square boxes are now enhanced and it's looking cool. We are on the right side, we get some sliders, and by adjusting them we can change the look of this effect as per our likings. First one increases the width of the edge lines, and the second one increases the brightness. The third one affects the smoothness of the edges. Pretty self-explanatory, isn't it? These are my final settings and I'll hit OK. Now we'll be adding a little bit of 3D effect, and for that we go to filter again, then stylize, and then click on emboss. We can adjust the amount of the effect by adjusting these sliders. With this angle wheel, we can mimic the direction of the light and shadows. I'm done here, but this is not what we want, right? So we'll double click here on the settings of the smart filter and first change its blend mode to overlay. And then we can adjust the opacity of the emboss effect if we want. I will keep it at 90 and hit OK. I'm going to use one last filter, and this is totally optional and subject to your personal preference, and it's gonna be noise. Not too much, just a little bit. We are done creating the effect, and in the next step we will be doing some layer masking to make it even more artistic. I don't want the effect to be on the whole body of our subject. I want it to be confined only to her glasses and some of the body. So we have to select the layer mask of the mosaic layer. Okay, before that, to be on the safe side, we will select both the mosaic and the subject layer together by holding the shift key and link them together so that they keep track of each other, and we have the flexibility of resizing them together at once whenever required. After selecting the layer mask, we're gonna take the brush tool again, make the brush bigger, select the soft round brush, and with the black as foreground color, we'll start painting over the areas we want to mask. The reason behind using the soft round brush is to make the transition smoother around the edges. To make it even smoother, we can also decrease the flow of the brush here. We have to toggle between the black and white foreground color multiple times to hide and reveal the mosaic effect, and we will continue doing it till we achieve the desired look. Now for this part of our goggles, I want to keep it sharp and crisp, and here we will be applying a different technique. Before that, we will reveal some extra areas here and later hide them. Let us finish the other parts first. I'm done, and now for this part we have to make a selection along the square boxes, and to do that I'm going to use the polygonal lasso tool. Using it is pretty simple. Click once on the point you want to start and move the cursor to the next point, and you can notice a straight line between the points. Now in here the edges of the boxes are straight along the axis, and we also want the movement of our cursor to be straight as well, and this can be done by holding the shift key while moving the cursor, and you will notice the cursor moving perfectly straight in either directions, that is horizontally and vertically both. Just go on clicking and adding different points like this. Now we have to close the selection, and for that we have to come back to the point where we started, and you can notice a small circle near the cursor, which means it's the starting point, and clicking here will close the selection. Now that the selection is made, whatever we do now will only affect the inside of the selection, and this is what we exactly want. Keeping the layer mask of the mosaic layer selected, we will again take the brush tool and this time select the hard round brush because we want sharp edges. We'll mask out the extra areas. If we zoom in a little, we can notice that some parts of the original subject layer is peeping from behind, and we'll remove that the same way as we did just now. We just have to select the layer mask of the original subject layer, that's all. We need to do some more refinements with the mask. Press Ctrl or Command D to deactivate the selection, and we are done with the effect. If this is what you came looking for, then you can stop this video here. It's totally fine. I will do few more things here to complete the composition and give it a form of a poster, because I believe in totality. And I strongly believe that the beauty of a particular thing truly comes out when it is seen in context. And if you happen to believe in the same philosophy, then you can stay a little longer and see the complete creation. So, are you in? Great. The first thing I'm going to do is make our main subject a little smaller and place it a little off center to give it some breathing room. Now just above our background layer, I'm going to create a circle, and for doing that we're gonna select the ellipse tool and again hold the shift key and draw the ellipse, and it will be a perfect circle. For the fill color, I will take the same orange shade of the goggles We don't need any strokes here. And I will place the circle here. I want the edges of the circle to be little soft. To do that, we have to convert the ellipse layer into a smart object and then apply the Gaussian blur filter and adjust the blur radius to give it a slight blur. I'm going to add one more circle here, slightly smaller in size, and for the fill color, I'm taking the teal green shade from the subject's dress. Make it even more lighter. Again, make it a smart object and this time apply a little bit of noise to it. All done, and now I'm going to add some text and finish it off. For doing that, first I will take the vertical text tool and click anywhere on the canvas to add the text and then simply type out what we want. For this, I'm using the font called Poppins. Place it here like this. I'll make another copy of the same text and we can do that by holding the Alt or Option key and clicking and dragging the text like this and then double click to edit the text. I'll again go to the text tool and this time select the horizontal text tool. Type the word. Change the color to the same orange shade. And for this, I'm using a font called Braille Suite. Decrease the spacing between the characters. Make it bigger. Rotate it and place it here. I want this part of the text to be behind the subject, and for doing that, we'll hold the Ctrl or Command key and click on the layer mask of the mosaic layer to activate the selection of the layer and add a layer mask to the text layer. But this is just the opposite what we wanted. So keeping the layer mask of the text layer selected, we're gonna press Ctrl or Command Shift and I to invert the selection, and there we have what we wanted. I'll add one last piece of text and it will be of the same style, so we're gonna again make a duplicate of this text layer. Rotate it, make it smaller, double click to edit, change the color to a shade of green from the dress. Let's give the text an effect. For doing that, we'll double click here on the blank space of the text layer to open the layer style dialog box and click here to add the stroke effect. We have to bring down the fill opacity to 0 and change the stroke color from here. Some final touches here and there. And we are done with our poster. Tell me honestly, did you like the poster? I'm always open to your appreciation and criticism, and I always take them to improve upon myself. Hopefully I was able to explain the whole process properly and you will be able to take at least something out of it. More videos coming up. This is Didi signing off for today.